All right, welcome back, everyone. You're tuned into BRIMBANK Live FM. I'm your host, Lydia, and I'm joined by my co-hosts, AD and Roshani. We are currently at the African Music and Cultural Festival, celebrating diversity and harmony. And we've been blessed right now with the presence of Fred. He's the AMCF chair, I believe, chairholder.
Yes, I am.
Hello, Fred. How are you?
Hello, how are you?
We're good. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here at your stand, Live FM.
That's it.
And we've, first of all, thank you for you guys coming around to our festival today. It's been amazing. It's been buzzing.
Yep.
I've been seeing lots of people coming to talk to you, sharing stories. We're really honored with your presence here today.
Thank you for having us. It's an honor for us to be able to sit here, take space in this beautiful place, and to be able to interview the diverse people that are here today, because we have heard a number of stories and we've been able to embrace a number of cultures through these conversations.
Absolutely, and that's what the African Music and Cultural Festival is about. It's about celebrating diversity and harmony. It's about us African Australians telling their stories in a more positive light. It's about changing the narrative about African Australians.
Absolutely.
It's about showing the best of African Australians to the wider Australian community. To say that, look, you might hear some negative stories in the media, but then there are lots of African Australians that are contributing to the advancements of Australia through many ways. Just even look at the AMCF board, for example. We've got a guy there that's a principal lawyer at Slater & Gordon. So he's one of the big bosses there, and Slater & Gordon are also one of the sponsors of African Music and Cultural Festival. We've got guys there, a lady, our treasurer, who's the head of HR in Telstra, one of the biggest firms.
I used to work for Telstra.
There we go. We've got another guy who works for Computershare and is a senior manager there in Computershare. We've got a whole load of people, different walks of life, all from various African countries that brings their skills, professional skills together to create something special for the for the community today. A day when we create something that the all Victorians can engage with in an easy to engage with format.
Yes, absolutely.
For them to come and enjoy, tell our stories through music, art, food,
fashion.
Fashion. Don't let me forget that.
Do not forget fashion.
Oh, of course. And if
you're out there with the crowd.
Absolutely.
You're absolutely
And also,
representing what this day's about.
Absolutely. And for the first time this year too, we also had some really deep conversations about identity. And the African Australian identity. And we had some brilliant speakers like Monica Deng, Monica Forson, and Nguyen on there. And you know, amazing speakers that really talked about some personal stories and brought the topic to life to us. And that was really good to have some deep conversations too about topical issues.
I really like the addition of the panel discussion. I think that really added a really nice substance to a day of celebration, really. We were just really engaged because it was very thought-provoking and it was very forward and just honest and it was real. It was really, really good.
Absolutely.
I love how we didn't even have to ask, what has this day been about? You just went in and told us. It's awesome.
It really shows how passionate you are and how much this means to you as well.
Absolutely. Look, I remember starting African Music and Culture Festival, and the idea came through 8 years ago. When we went to a meeting with the Victorian Multicultural Commissioner then, Chin Tan, and he said to us during that meeting, we went there to talk about the Nigerian community, because I'm also from the Nigerian community, and to say we want to bring an artist to come and perform. And it was like, look, you're a small community, there's no way in which we would invest that much money for you to bring that artist. However, if you're able to use the skills and experience of the Nigerian community, because we know the Nigerian community is very successful, lots of professionals in there. Actually, the Nigerian community have 20% of the Nigerian community in Victoria are doctors or have a doctorate. As much as that.
That's a high percentage.
We're singularly the most highly educated migrant group across Australia. So no one else, when you look at the achievements from a degree level. And so he was like, if you can do something to bring together the African community community together, we will be keen on that, because so far I've not seen something that's been properly organized. And he actually used some word then. He said he felt that maybe the African community lacked the capacity at that time.
Okay.
So, wow, we left the office saying, damn, we got to show him we've got capacity.
Yes.
Because I knew people, I knew professionals, I knew lawyers, I knew doctors, I knew accountants, I knew architects, I knew nurses, I knew lots of people in different engineers, that were doing really, really well. But the stories weren't being told. It was the negative stories that were being carried by the media.
Absolutely. We always talk about how the media has, is known for downplaying the positive stories and exaggerating the negative.
Absolutely.
So this event is a direct resistance against that, because it's a display of just beauty, success, excellence, and excellence. Exactly.
Absolutely. And so from the start, when we thought, okay, we're going to start this festival, we brought together a team of very, very professionals, a team of professionals that were passionate about making a difference. Because this was on a volunteer basis. We don't get paid for this, for the work we do. It's all volunteer to pull all these things together. A lot of times. So they must have a passion to want to change the narrative. They must have a passion to want to showcase the best of African Australians. They must have a passion to just change the way, the image.
They must have a passion. Absolutely.
The fire has to be in there.
The fire has to be there.
You must want to be determined to say, I'm going to showcase the best of us. And this is us.
This is us.
Because if you don't write your own story, others will write it for you.
Wow.
If you don't tell your own story, somebody else will tell it for you.
That's right.
And for a long time, a lot of people were telling our stories that were not representative and did not reflect who we are.
Absolutely. Yeah, I hear that.
Can you tell us a little bit about your personal background?
So my personal background, my background is Nigerian. I was born in Nigeria, and then at the age of 16, I moved to the UK. And that's where I grew up all my adult life. Went to college, finished university, and worked for a while until 10 years ago when I moved to Australia. By background, I'm an accountant. I'm a chartered accountant by background. I used to work for Big Four professional services firm. In the past, I've worked for Ernst & Young and KPMG and Deloitte. Before I now joined a job with the civil service, state civil service. And again, the reason why I did that was I was passionate about making a difference. And I thought working for the state government would give me the opportunity to actually make more of an impact, and impact more lives, and impact policies that impact the lives of millions of people every
policies.
That work is really important.
Start to redefine those and start to influence. That's what make a difference there.
And Roshani would know a lot more about policy.
Right, and I think it's really important that people like you are creating the space where you do have the tools and the resources to be able to do that. Because I think a lot of people don't have the means and they think they can't make a change. But when you start with kind of like undermining and pulling apart those policies and really trying to resist and challenge those things,
absolutely.
Like that's when change can really happen.
Exactly. It's in the structural setup of the country. That's the policies.
Absolutely. But then at the same time, it's also setting a good example as much as we can. And because I know that a lot of people will look up to me. And so it's important that, I set that good example and do the best I can in whatever I do.
Well, you're doing an amazing job, Fred. Thank you. I feel inspired by you. We've only met you today, but thank you once again for having us here. It means a lot to us. We're currently at the African Music and Cultural Festival at the Immigration Museum. You're tuned in to BRIMBANK Live FM. You're listening to Lydia. I'm joined by AD and Roshani. We're just wrapping up a beautiful conversation with Fred. We'll be right back. With thanks to the City of BRIMBANK across our neighbourhood and the world, Soul Dive with AD, Roshani and Lydia on BRIMBANK Live on Live FM.